Hello everyone, welcome at Triangle Factory. I'm very happy to invite you to visit our factory, have a little tour at our place and see how we work. So please come with me. So welcome, this is the entry of our factory. We are creating this video because there is also a special moment for us in 2026. We are launching one new series of loudspeakers which are assembled in France, in our manufacturer of Soissons, which is the new Capella 2. This is a premium bookshelf, active bookshelf speakers, which is priced around 2,500 euros, on which you've got the loudspeaker and the built-in amplifiers on it. It was an opportunity for me and for all the team to show you a bit this company. Just for information, this company has been built in 1980 by the founder called Hugo Decelle. It was like a French interior designer, a huge fan of music, of classical music. And Renaud had this idea of like a very special idea about the sound he's looking for, something very with a wide sound stage, a lot of details, a lot of the feeling of space to feel that the violin is at the right, the strings are on the left, and it was very important for him. So he decided to create his own speaker long time ago, and when Triangle has been founded, the start of the adventures is on November 1980, when he made his first model of loudspeaker. So we're going to have a quick tour to show you about what we are doing, what is speakers, what are our knowledge and our know-how. Just a quick overview about the speakers that we are assembling in France. This is the Intel and Comète 40th anniversary. It has been launched in 2020. This one will be interesting because it's like the big brother, kind of the big brother of the Capella. A lot of driver technologies that has been developed for these loudspeakers has been developed originally for the Comète 40th. Here you've got a quick overview of active speakers, a bit more entry level. And here you've got our top of the line loudspeakers that you can see also at the assembly room. You've got the Magellans. This is the Duetto bookshelf, and this is the Quatuor floor standers. This is really like the best of what we can do in terms of driver performance, value for the price. This line has been assembled in France since a lot of time, and what's happening is Triangle has been relocating production in France since 10 years. So Magellan has been always made in France. We decided in 2014 to make the signatures back in France, and we continue this journey progressively. It means like the Esprit 40s that you've seen has been relocated in France in 2020. And so now that's why it's very important for us to continue to make more and more made in France speakers. And that's why this one is important for us, because that's our fourth series, number 4, that now is assembled in France. So I'm going to show you a bit more about our factory. I've been lucky because the founder, Renaud Decelle, before he retired, made the decision to build this entire building. And we are very happy because he has exactly what we are looking for. You will see there is assembly lines, there is anechoic chambers, many cool things. And now we're going to go to the driver assembly line. So welcome. This is one of the main rooms for us. This is the driver assembly. Benoit, which is here, is one of our senior assembling worker. Benoit is almost one of the youngest, and he starts it only in 2004. So yeah, 22 years of experience, and this is where we are lucky as well. Is like our workers has a lot of experience when it comes to assemble, and our philosophy is work more as a workshop than a big factory. So if you want to have a look, is going to assemble a driver from step to step, and the first step is the magnets. So you've got 3 parts within the magnets, which is the engine of the drivers. And he, first of all, is going to glue ferrites in French, so probably magnet in English. He has like special jigs in order to make sure that the alignment is perfect, because in order that the voice call can move freely and efficiently. Okay, and the last step is to assemble the top plates. First of all, the magnets are not magnetized. yet. It has no magnet power. We're going to shocks to the magnet, which are going to wake up the magnets and create the power, the magnetic powers into the machine. The magnet starts working. Once the magnet has been assembled, it will be to put the magnet into the basket. So the basket is the central metal frame of a driver. The skeleton of a driver is going to hold all the pieces together, and he has to be, to all those pieces, he has to be very resistant to vibration. He has also to evacuate heat, because once the driver will walk at with an intensive pace, it will hit. So all these things are very important. So Benoit is going to assemble. So once again, you've got always a jig to make sure the positioning is perfect. And also one interesting piece of detail is when it comes to high-end, every small details are important. And which is interesting is this one. You've got your own binding post within each driver, which is not common at all. Usually you've got just tiny connectors because it's more economical. Okay, we're going to the next step that Benoit is going to show you. Is one of the main, very important point as well. This is a voice coil. Voice coil will go inside the drivers, a bit like this. There is 4 of them, so we're going to cut them after that. We still in France has our own machine, if you want to have a look on what he's doing, on which he's going to assemble all these wires all together within this tube. What's interesting with this also, one of the triangle technology is to put a double wiring. So there is one roll of wires on the top and also one roll of wire inside. It helps, in fact, to reduce the overall heat when you've got an electrical circuit going there. So it's been very important for us to continue to do this process in-house, because this is where we can guarantee we've got the best precision, the exact number of wires, the exact thickness. We can control every details. So you see that here you've got the wire which is going to go inside. Then it's going to put the sheets inside the machine and make the second piece of wire. So you've got twice more wire within the same area, but because you've got one on the top, one on the bottom of the sheet, it will have a way much better heat management. When we show you that each driver in fact is different, so here you've got a Benoit's fridge, it's not for food. Each one of them is has its own thickness, and you don't have the same thickness of wire, thickness, sorry for my terrible accent. You can subtitle that you have to deal with French. Based on the driver, if it's a mid-range, if it's a woofer, if it's different product category, it will change. Just to show you is that once everything is ready, Benoit has completed his full series, he's going to put all the plate like this, and you're going to remove the paper, first of all, put it back here, and then we take the entire plate and we're going to put it in an oven, which is next door, and we're going to heat it at combien de degrés? Okay, we're going to cook it at 240 degrees for 1 hour. It's not like a cake because it's too warm, but maybe like a piece of meat. And once it's ready, then we can show it here. We're going to cut it, and this will be the final piece. In fact, once we cut the roll, one roll is like a maki. You're going to make 4 of them, and this is the final one that Benoit is going to show you, to then put the voice coil, glue it to the membrane. So here is melting a tiny bit of tin. It's going to be easier then after to solder voice coil to the other components. Now we're going to another machine showing you how this machine will help to glue the membrane and the voice coil to the basket, and this time is going to be a mid-range, slightly different, but because we wanted to show you different techniques of what we are doing, we are changing in order to show you a bit of everything. So here is a machine that we've built exclusively for us to glue all the components together, and even the glue is studied many times across the year to make sure that it has the perfect elasticity, perfect thickness. So we're going to add the spider. So here you've got a small internal rubber next to the suspension, which is going to provide any air leak when the driver is moving. So basically what is done here is it makes a sweeps test. So it's going to cover every frequencies. Tu peux le faire très lentement. Going from the lowest frequency, increase all the way to the highest one. The idea is to show the driver, listen the driver, and make sure that the voice call won't have any friction inside. So it's so it goes all the way to the up until it's so high that we don't even listen, going down to the low frequencies. And if suddenly Benoit is hearing a scratch or anything that he feels has a trouble, he has to stop and remake the driver. This is one of the many tests, more are coming. Benoit's experience is very important for us because he has a train here to detect any potential issue with the driver when it's assembled. I used to say that a driver is very close from a watch. The technology is known, but the quality is about the material and how precisely you assemble it to make it work perfectly. And this is one of the final steps where we're going to glue either the dust cap or face plug. Basically, each time it's a piece which is located at the center of the driver, and same than the suspension is here to provide any air leak from the center once the driver is moving. So the machine has been specially, we've got a little air section allowing Benoit to position the face plug right at the right position. And just to show you, Daniel, so if someone asking questions, there is not always the same. This is what we call a face plug. So as you can see, it's slightly thinner than other one, with a kind of pointy shapes. It's important to make it not too big, because in mid-range we're going to use as much surface as we can in the paper cone for have a good bandwidth and being able to reproduce all the frequencies. So even this one is important, and also the direction where the mid-range, mid-frequencies are going is quite important. So the shape of face plug is very important. And at the opposite, if you look at a woofer, it will be slightly different. This is what we call the dust cap. So it will be slightly bigger, because in that case, with a woofer, the inside of the membrane is not as sensitive as mid-range. But on the other hand, a woofer is moving way much more. So it's moving more air, and it needs a stronger cap, to prevent air flow and any air leak in this area. So this is why you can see sometimes differences between the drivers if it's a woofer or a mid-range. And also last piece for Benoit is going to assemble the back of the driver. So this is also kind of special technology. Most of the driver on the market just stop like this. It's going to be fine. For Magellan, we had a little cooling system. Basically, all this piece will help the heat to go away. Because we have made some studies, and we realize that for high-end loudspeakers, they've got usually high-end amplifiers, a lot of electricity, a lot of powers. So it's going to heat a lot to get very warm, very hot. So by adding these pieces, the driver behaviors is way much better over long term, especially after 30 minutes or 1 hour of listening. You've heard about the sweeps test, which the principle was to listen the driver to make sure he has no issue. The second test is to reproduce a tiny anechoic chamber here on which we place the driver. And we're going to also send a signal, this time that we're going to analyze by computer. So this is the second step of control. And for Magellan's and every Made in France program products, we're going to have also another test at the end, which is to test the complete speakers in an anechoic chamber.
I'm Elodie. Let's go to the assembly room where we make bookshelves. This is Christophe. my colleague that is here from 1995. He's here almost from the beginning. He has a very good expertise on production. And at the moment, he's making an assembly of the Comète 40th anniversary. You can see he has already made the screw with the crossover, and he's doing the tweeter. Comète 40th anniversary, it's a limited edition that we have done for 40th birthday. For that, we have developed new drivers, especially the tweeter with a new magnesium dome. Also the midwoofer, still with the natural cellulose paper, a new coil and a rubber pid suspension. And we got really good feedback on this bookshelf. So we wanted to get inspired from this one to make a new active premium Wi-Fi bookshelf. That is the Capella 2. It exists in different finishes. This is the Astral Blue, but you've got also an oak finish, English green, space black and space white. We have also a new design on this one with rounded corners, which gives more softness. Also, you have some rubber all-around drivers that match the colors of the finish. And it takes also the drivers from the 40th anniversary. And something new also, the no more bass reflex on front, it's hidden under the pedestal.
We are currently making some Capella 2 speakers. We are proud to get this product assembly in our historical workshop in Soissons. To do so, we have all the pieces which are there. We have the remote, the hub, we will talk about later, and all drivers and amplifier that we assemble just here. And here is the core of the system, the stereo hub in its second version. You have many inputs directly included in the hub. It means that you connect directly in optical, your TV with HDMI, ER compatibility, or sync connection to plug a turntable or CD player. And then it streams wirelessly, thanks to WiSA technology, the signal with no loss and no latency directly to the speakers. To do so, it integrates auto calibration system that you can do with iOS device like iPhone or iPad, or you can use a microphone dedicated to calibration. It allows you to get the best from the speakers. For the consumer experience to be the best, we wanted to pair all the product in there. It means that for a final consumer, just need to connect it to your network, and then it works.
Let's go to the assembly room for flow standard now. That's still our Made in France production. You have a bit of everything. Some cellos from Magellan, Quatuor. That's some signature. And the rest of the collection of Esprit 40s, Diantal. Hello, guys. This is Frederic. No, our grumpy guy. He's from here from a very long time, from 1986. So he knows very well how to touch the speaker. So he just finished to produce a Delta, almost done. So here you have all the spare parts ready to be assembled. The crossover for Magellan with all triangle components. Terminal. Oops. So this one just comes from the room with Benoit, where he produced some drivers. They're already ready with big motor. That's quite heavy. Also a tweeter. And this beautiful piece for the horn-loaded tweeter. Back chamber. And then for Magellan, we use our anechoic chamber. I'm going to show you. Let's go inside. So this one is special treatment that we use only for Magellan, that we put it inside. So if you hear there is no... yeah.
Welcome to our little museum. This is where we store like most of our iconic products. I told you a bit once we arrived that the first model of triangle has been made in November 1980, and this is one. So this name is 1180 for November 1980, and this is really the first loudspeaker that has been made by Renaud de Vergnietz. I had a very good feedback in La Revue du Son, which is a very old hi-fi magazine in France. It was the magazine at that time, and it get iconic. And the great thing is like Renaud has been very much inspired and tried many different things across the year until he found his recipe. This one is always interesting because it's one of the second or the third loudspeaker made by Triangle. So we used to say that, well, Unbaffled Twitter has been made by Bowers and Wilkins, but for sure there is other manufacturer who made it. So this one has been made in 1983 or 84. It already had an Unbaffled Twitter. And after, you can see it also have like this wide range peppercorn membrane, and it's already part of the philosophy of Renaud de Vergnietz. Very nice mid-range, very lot of space, and this kind of paper mid-range was already part of Triangle DNA, and this is what he wanted to do, and this is why we still have paper mid-range now in our new products. Starting from 92, I believe, I must check that. Nemo technology. So at some point, they made our own department, try to make like a sub-brand with like very much high-end or new innovative concept. And basically, yeah, it was trying to try new design, special kind of drivers. So here you start the arrival of our first little horn. Now you've got more on Twitter, but this kind of metallic membrane within a horn start like this. You keep have like this paper mid-range, and they start to have woofers. So it's kind of a bass front. Beautiful sound, but very, very difficult to make it work. You have to have a huge room. You have to have like 2 meters at least distance from the back wall. Very funny speakers, but also very challenging to make it work. And then after, here you're going to arrive at the end of the 90s, and which is interesting with the Stratos. It's like you start to really see the foundation of Triangle now drivers. This on-loaded tweeter start to arrive. You've got this face plug which avoid the horn as a disadvantage, which is to fire the high frequencies in only one sweet spot. The face plug helps to open it, so it's pretty cool to develop this technology. And from 2000, this is one Renaud de Vergnietz, one of the final projects he made. He decided to really start to be a bit more high-end, more international. From the beginning, Triangle has been known for a good mid-level speakers, like very lot of technology, great sound, for very good value. And he was very great and successful like that in this position, but he wanted to something a bit more like an excellent speaker. And this is where he built the Magellan's project. And this is the first Magellan that has been born in 2002, if I'm not correct, which is the Grand Concert. And it's funny because it was Renaud's philosophy. At this point, he wanted to say, I want drivers which are quick and very precise. And even with huge speaker like this, he did not go further than 6.5-inch woofers, which is not the case anymore. And to compensate, he made like 2 bass modules on the top and the bottom to make more bass, and the mid-range and tweeter in the middle to be at a sweet spot once you are listening. But it was not enough bass, so he decided to make this colossal subwoofers, a pretty cool one, which had like a separate crossover, separate active crossover at some point. So great design, and it was like some weaknesses for sure, but it's like a piece of collection for us. We were very proud to have one pair left. And here, this is where we're getting closer from what's the existing Magellans. A couple of improvement has been done since 2000. This is 2010. A couple of improvement has been done, especially in the 40th anniversary of Magellans. But we are still using most of this technology because it's incredible material, and we try to build from it. And yeah, last thing, which is like also funny, is how Renaud de Vergnet, the founder, tried different thing. Is he made at some point 2 amplifiers in the 90s, which was like beautiful design, beautiful sound, but so much failure. I mean, we are talking about 150% after sales service, so meaning like you with the same amps you have to repair it twice. But look at this design for the 90s. I mean, like special. It was a special light information to show the volume. It had like a special, like almost touch panel at this time. You got the feelings that you are in the movie of Tron. This one was a bit more reasonable, but it had a cooling issue. The heat was not getting away easily, so that's why it was overheating. And this one was a bit more reasonable in terms of conception, and we made couple of hundreds. You see again the Nemo design that I showed you before. It was at that time, probably in the 90s, they made that. So it was great fun. Then after we decided to keep up with our know-how and stay within driver and acoustic, which is where we are the best. As I told you, I'm the owner and the CEO of Triangle. In fact, I took over this company in 2018 because it was a family business. The business belonged first to Renaud de Vergnet, which was one of my father's best friends. My father, in the 1980, was an hi-fi shop in Paris. So he was like 25 years old, he had no plan, and he decided to open a shop with his best friend, and Triangle became his first supplier at that time. And so he met Renaud, he loved the Triangle speakers, and yeah, they get good friends, and they stay friends for all their life. So Renaud continued all the work from Triangle that I've been talking to you about in the museum, etc. And what's happened in couple of times he needed help because some project was maybe a bit difficult to finance. So my father helped him a couple of times. And unfortunately in 2006 a kind of a drama happened. The wife of Renaud died, and Renaud was so devastated that he decided to quit. He gave to my father the opportunity to take back the business at that time. So he did. At that time I was studying. My father is also a winemaker, so he had a lot of different business. So, and in 2012 the company Triangle was a bit in a difficult position. So I started to help out, mostly in logistics, in supply, and warehouse management first. And then progressively I moved to different topics. And we had the opportunity to build up the company since, for me it's been now 14 years. And since 2018, I am fully in charge to cover the company. And it's great because since the product launch such as Borea, since COVID, Triangle had the opportunity to grow a lot. So for example, what you see here is like the extension. Everything here is our new warehouse that we have managed to take back. And it's quite a symbolic thing because when this building has been built in 2004, everything has been built for Triangle, but due to economic issue, we had to rent half of the warehouse because we did not get enough money and did not enough sales. And 2 years ago, we had the opportunity to take back this second part and take once again the full building as it was dedicated first. So it's a kind of proud to go back there because it shows that triangle where it's supposed to be. And in fact, it's been like 3 years that we keep hitting record years every year. I can tell you, I don't mind. I mean, Triangle now, it's a fairly small company. It's a 10 million euro company. But when I started, it was 3.5 in 2012. So we managed to make 3 times bigger, and it seems that we keep growing. So we are very happy for that. We try to stay modest. We don't want to be like the super big company, but if we can remain hi-fi lovers and have fun building speakers and hi-fi products, honestly, it's a great chance that we've got.